In this guide, we'll explore multiple ways to traverse this map, from the fastest way to the safest way. Let's start with the fastest way, which will incorporate both the top floor and the bottom floor. Start by going through the top set of discs, and which side you choose doesn't really matter, so go with either or. And the best way to traverse the discs are to ride along the edge of the very first disc and jump onto the edge of the next one while going with the flow. Two of the discs will follow the same pattern, while the third one will go in the opposite direction. And as for the lily pads, this is where you should go to the right side if you aren't there already. Jump on the first pad, and while in midair, dive onto the big pads. And once you reach the right side, you can jump over the disc directly and onto the slide. You don't have to get onto the disc to get onto the slide, you can just jump over it. And once you're off the slide, jump to the bottom level and aim for the lily pad, and then aim for the other pads as well to avoid the water until the very end. There's a skip you can do, and that's to jump on the lily pad and jump over the frog and onto the other pad. There are multiple ways to go about this skip. The very first way is to jump over the frog and then bounce on the other pad and onto the finish line. That's the simplest way. Another way is to, once you jump over the frog and onto the other pad, immediately dive onto the finish line. You'll reach the finish line slightly faster than if you would just jump on the pad, since diving will cancel the animation of you in midair and propel you forward slightly. And finally, if the frog is active, jump on the pad and then position yourself to the slide, and at the last second, dive onto the slide. You should be able to cross the finish line. Now, let's rewind and explore the top path in its entirety. The left side is the optimal place to spawn, since that's where we'll be until we reach the pink log section. If you do spawn on the right or the middle side, you can switch to the left side once you reach the lily pad section. And once you've crossed the lily pad section and are on the left side, jump onto the slide to completely skip the discs altogether. And if you've taken the left side slide, you can walk straight onto the balancing beam. If you do struggle with staying on the balancing beam, just hold your grab button and that will make you walk slower, allowing you to keep your balance. And once you reach the section with the wheel and beam, you can choose whichever is fastest for you or easiest for you, but the wheel can be a little bit faster if you know its timing. And as for the pink logs, jump onto the first one when it's straight, or jump dive if it's coming at you at a slight angle, and then dive jump onto the center of the second one. If you dive onto the sides of it, you could risk falling off. Personally, the logs aren't all that fast. You spend quite a bit of time waiting for logs to line up, and you have to jump dive off the logs, and that could risk stumbling you. I don't personally take them at all if I can help it. Since the frogs have a 3 to 4 second cooldown, I just wait until the frog is down and jump onto the pad and dive to the finish line. Unexpectedly though, the bottom path is faster than taking only the top path. Here's how. Go along with the hammers rather than against it, and if it does hit you, it'll hit you forwards rather than back. The frogs bounce between spawning in the back and spawning in the front. Hang around the edges of the pad and jump onto the next one when the coast is clear. This will take some time to learn the pattern, but with time, you'll get the hang of it. The pillar ring section is incredibly easy to traverse with this tip. You don't even have to walk in the middle and dodge all of them. All you have to do is walk on the very left side, and that's literally it. You can avoid all the pillars and they can even push you forwards. It's really that simple. And as for the water section with the cannons, walk while avoiding the cannons or use the paths to jump across the water. The rhinos can hit you back to the platform, so be careful. Take whatever path you want to. I personally recommend the frog skip, but that's just me. Comment below what season 5 map I should cover, and also apologies for the late upload. I'm currently on vacation in Canada and not in my home studio, but make sure to subscribe for more guides.